It was one of the most shocking true crime cases in recent American history. Four college students, young, bright, and full of dreams, murdered in their sleep. The killer didn't steal anything. He didn't leave a note, but he did leave behind a chilling clue. And the man responsible? He was studying for a PhD in criminology. On the morning of November 13th, 2022, police responded to a call at a home near the University of Idaho campus. Inside, they found the bodies of four students: Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Morgan, Shauna Kernadol, and Ethan Chapin. They were all between 20 and 21 years old. They had spent the previous night like any other college students, going out, laughing, taking photos, and eventually returning home. Kaylee and Madison were lifelong best friends. Ethan and Shauna were dating. They were popular, happy, and had no known enemies. What happened that night was unimaginable. The scene was brutal. All four victims had been stabbed multiple times in their bedrooms. Police later confirmed that a fixed-blade knife was used and that the killer had entered the house in the early hours of the morning, likely through a sliding glass door. Two other roommates were inside the home but survived. One of them reported hearing strange noises and seeing a masked man dressed in black, silently leaving through the back door. She locked herself in her room, too afraid to process what she had just witnessed. There were no signs of forced entry. Nothing was stolen. It was a clean, targeted, and horrific attack. With no murder weapon and no obvious suspect, the investigation turned to surveillance footage and digital evidence. A white Hyundai Elantra was spotted on camera circling the neighborhood multiple times that night. Investigators cross-referenced car registrations and discovered one owned by Bryan Kohberger, a 28-year-old PhD student in criminology at nearby Washington State University. But there was more. Cell tower data placed Kohberger near the crime scene on multiple occasions, both before and after the murders. His phone had been turned off during the time of the attack, but it pinged nearby shortly after the crime. He also returned to the area in the days that followed, possibly to observe the chaos he caused. Bryan Kohberger wasn't just a student. He was studying criminal behavior, serial killers, and forensic psychology. He had even participated in academic studies about the mindset of violent offenders. Online, he had posted questions in forums, asking convicted criminals how they chose their victims and how they felt during their crimes. His behavior was described as socially awkward but intelligent. In class, he debated with professors and seemed fascinated by criminal patterns. But no one, not even his classmates, imagined he could be capable of something so dark. The breakthrough came when police discovered DNA on a leather knife sheath found next to the bodies of Madison and Kaylee. That DNA had matched anyone in their database, but it matched a profile taken from Kohberger's family trash back in Pennsylvania, where he had gone for the holidays. That genetic match, combined with surveillance footage, phone records, and his car's movements, was enough for police to act. On December 30th, 2022, Bryan Kohberger was arrested in a nighttime raid at his parents' home. News of the arrest made headlines around the world. How could a criminology student, someone who studied the very crimes he committed, be responsible? As police dug deeper, they discovered more disturbing facts. Kohberger had allegedly stalked the house multiple times. He had DM'd one of the victims on Instagram. He was even pulled over twice by police while driving across the country with his father, just days before his arrest. The community was stunned. The university mourned, and the internet exploded with theories. In early 2023, Kohberger was charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. His defense initially claimed he was innocent, but the evidence was overwhelming. In July 2025, in a dramatic court session, Bryan Kohberger pleaded guilty to all 4 murders. He admitted to planning the attack, stalking the house, and choosing his victims based on routine. The families of the victims sat in the courtroom as he confessed. There was no remorse in his voice. He now awaits sentencing and could face life in prison without parole, or possibly the death penalty. The Idaho college murders are a terrifying reminder that evil doesn't always wear a mask. Sometimes it sits quietly in a classroom, studying human behavior, waiting, planning. 4 promising lives were stolen in the middle of the night, and while justice has been served, the pain remains. As we try to understand how a criminology student turned into a cold-blooded killer, we're left with one chilling truth. He studied the minds of murderers and then became one himself.